Tunde and all Mrs. Otobo, Mrs. Osime, let's give them a round of applause for their tenacity, for keeping education in Nigeria this strong. Mrs. Pastor, Mrs. Atoyi, Mrs. Shonola, there's so many people here. We appreciate you, we teachers, and I will get to this. In preparation for this, I was looking forward to the solution part. And I know in Nigeria we like to meet, we like to collaborate, we seem to know the problem. But the problem also is what is the solution and what are we doing about the solution? I'm not going to talk about ASEP. ASEP is a foundation that I'm passionate about, that has started something on nursery, on the foundation of the curriculum. And we started working on reviewing the curriculum. But what I'm about to talk about is the solution that we think would work. And excellent as Mrs. Shonola said, she spoke about collaboration. We want to share what we put together, the CEO of ASEP and I, that we could start to work on. And we put it as PACE, P-A-C-E. I will say it quickly, ma'am. PACE to us means a single step taken when you're moving. I believe that the gathering is towards the move. PACE also means a consistent and continuous speed in movement. And PACE to us means policy formulation, the P. A is advocacy, C is curriculum design, and E is education and training. We believe that this is the way that we should focus on to reform, to ensure the reform. For policy formulation, like we said, ma'am, if we do not start to rewrite the policy ourselves, we will not get anywhere. If you look at the nursery policy itself, it doesn't cater for what we need. If we all collaborate and act as a pressure group and we come up with our own suggested policy and we pass it on to them, then I think we're doing something tangible. We want to see us doing something tangible and we can focus on that. Advocacy, we need to, media you said, excellent. If we act as a group, when I say we, I'm talking about the body of teachers. Look at the number of teachers that follow you, ma'am, that follow Mrs. Yinko Gude, that follow all of us that are educationists. If we all come together and put this together, we become a force, a drive to affect education in Nigeria. How can we see this? We should be a pressure group. We have to have our own people in the National House of Assembly. We need to go to them to say that if you push this bill and that, when you get to the Senate, we will get 1 million, 2 million teachers to vote for you. And we know we can do it because we teachers won't change. We have to have people that, because nothing is happening, nothing tangible we see is happening. So that is for advocacy. For curriculum design, ma'am, we need to start to do the curriculum ourselves. We need to start to do the curriculum ourselves. We need to start to work on it. The teachers, the school owners, the educators. We need to look at what we're doing in Finland. We need to look at what they're doing in other countries. Then put together, based on some parameters, what we want to see in the Nigerian curriculum. Then build a new Nigerian curriculum. It is possible. We started doing that. I got the call from the government in Lagos State. I'm saying, are you saying the curriculum is bad? I said, no, I'm not saying the curriculum is bad. What I'm saying is that we want some reviews. We have some suggestions. We need to start putting our suggestions. If they do not listen to us, we will publish it and put it in the newspaper. If we do that, we will know that our teachers are following that. Because they're not even holding us to follow the curriculum. There's no, it's like the UK coming up with the EYFS. And a school in the UK will say, I will not follow the EYFS. How? It's not possible. You won't be accredited. You will not stand in that country. But in Nigeria, all things are possible. But we all have to come together and say that, okay, this is what we've come up with, and this is what we want to follow. In any way, they will follow us. I know the team that do the curriculum, and they're wonderful people, but we need more education. We need education, not just education, but education in practice. People that, like Mr. Femi, that are taught the nursery. The last, so that I will not waste your time, is education and training. I love what you said. I went to Lagos Business School and I said to myself, why didn't I go to Lagos Business School years before? I would have been a better nursery teacher. But after that, I came up with something called ABC. A, man, attitude. A teacher needs to know how to eat, how to speak, how to present, how to comport yourself. The basic etiquette. Business, B. A teacher needs to know strategy. You need to know what's happening in the banking sector. You need to know all the other things. C is curriculum. Then you need to know what entails in your curriculum, how to teach, what to teach, different methods of teaching and all of that. I believe that that we can start with private teachers paying for learning. I went to CMB. I don't know if you know CMB now. I will finish this to that. I went to CMB and I saw teachers color. I saw teachers coming in and out of CMB. CMB to me was dead. I wanted a training that we were having. I was looking for a venue. I went to CMB Magodo, and this is the suggested venue that really can. It looks like Lagos Business School, but it's dead one. There were trees, parking spaces, beautiful rooms. I saw teachers coming in and out of CMB. Color. If we all come together and collaborate, international schools also put together our professors, our own IFMA. If you are like a rector or something, or the teacher class, the rest of the teachers in that school will not be the same. Then we can now say that for you to come to that teacher's training college, you have to have 5 A's. Then we are going to the class. If you work for the government, nothing is going to get done. You will have this meeting over and over again. Thank you very much.
Nursery is quite true. Now, I have looked at education across the board, both low income, middle income, and the expensive schools and private schools. And what I'm advocating is a system that ensures that most of the school fees that we pay does not go towards infrastructure. Now, if you pay 1 million naira in school fees, I can assure you that your school spend most of it on diesel. So that's why the teachers get paid little, resources get little money. Most of it goes towards infrastructure development and diesel. Now, when we talk about infrastructure development, every private school owner wants to move into their own facility. And to do that, you either borrow money from the bank at exorbitant repayments that frustrate the schools. So what I'm advocating is for us to begin to think about a network of schools in places that infrastructure already exists. You have churches, you have mosques. I mean, in the north, I cracked a joke was that maybe we should start schools and police stations. Because if the schools if the churches, they bomb churches, they bomb mosques, this is dangerous. Let's go to a place where infrastructure already exists. Now, I was privileged to listen to Dr. Bukola Saraki, who said in Kwara State, he said that the problem is that governors get into office and they will open 250 schools so you can see. He said, but it's an opportunity for the governors to say, well, we did some work, and also for them to be able to steal some of the money. He said, in truth, what really goes into school development is curriculum and teacher training. And that doesn't get the same kind of applause that opening schools does. So they spend a lot of money on infrastructure without looking at what actually education entails. So if we start to look at building schools where infrastructure already exists, this takes kind of out of the box thinking. Then you begin to cut down the cost of the money you pay towards infrastructure. So you have to really start looking at places that already, they're being used Monday to Friday from a certain time to a certain time. Look at all our churches. We open on Sundays and we open midweek. And Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. they're empty. They're empty. So you can begin to go in England. I've worked in a school in England where it was in a church hall in the basement. So we have to do the same things in this country. When you go to places where they have infrastructure, you pay little. Sometimes their generators are running all day. Sometimes all the things that you need for school, they're there already. You just have to be very, very, very smart in thinking that all the things that we roll out to teach the children, we pack it away so that it's not, in the way when the business owner now comes to use it. So that's the one thing. The second thing I think is collaboration. We have to stop being selfish in education in Nigeria. Stop thinking, I'm going to build my own, I don't care about anybody else's. And if we think about a system where there's so much collaboration, then we'll teacher train. The 4 pillars of education, which we've been doing with the Profound Learning Institute, teacher training is one of them, neuroscience is one of them. So the science of learning, what we tend to do with our children is that we let them learn information. As I'm speaking, every time I go out and I say something, somebody Googles what I say. Is it true? So information is not really necessary. What you want to get your children to do is what I call 21st century education, which is think, create, and innovate. What you are teaching must be one of those levels at every point in time, at one of those levels. So if you are really thinking about education in the right way, you're thinking about 21st century education, then you can really think outside the box. You can create something out of nothing. So right now, everybody goes at it the conventional way. But going. Some people in London under a tree. So to think that you have to have school blocks, you have to have all these things already exist before you start teaching is not actually true. So, but then what we then have to do is move that thing that where we teach is not that important. What is next is that who teaches. That is the key. So the thing is that training, constant training, repetitive training, there must be a system where the teachers are being trained every single week. So again, this is
my name is F.A. Family. I run an NGO called Linking Hands Foundation, and it's focused on children's health, education, and values. And I just want to share just practical ways we here can begin to do things in terms of access. Yes, we talked about the churches. All private schools here have neighborhood public schools or neighborhood low-travel schools. Let us adopt them and truly adopt them, as in go and find out what their needs are, and you're able to move. Like at the end of the school session, each child ends up with 2 textbooks, home textbook, school textbook. You can take them to those schools. We did that with Corona School VI, and went to one school you probably never heard of, somewhere at the back of Morocco. And in terms of there are people that run schools in IDP camps, there's a good man or pastor. Life Builders Initiative, you can support people like that. They're ready to receive money, textbooks, school books, book drive, just simple everyday things that you can do. We are taking a pilot community in Nasarawa State. We're going to send 140 IDP children to school starting. You can support that kind of work.
What we do as a private individual, we will be supporting the money that goes to public school. We should be interested in how it is spent. Do you know that UBE program is a first line charge against the income of Nigeria? They first of all take 1% or 2% before they share all the things that state governor goes to Abuja to collect. So it's a first line charge. Where is that money going to? From the federal government. And Dr. Peter, we confirm to you that governor of each state put their main man to manage, not in education, to manage UBEC, because the money available to UBEC is much more than the money that is available to Commissioner for Education. The starting point is this: there is a law that started UBEC. How many of us as educators understand this law governing this sharing of money and these facilities that go with it? Another law that we need to look at is the Research and Education Research Council or something, who claim to be in charge of our curriculum. There is a law that started them. As long as those laws exist, we can do nothing other than being a side place in the
I belong to a group called the United for Kids Foundation. We have been doing a lot of things, and it started out much like this, as a group of people that were doing their master's degree and decided that they didn't just want to talk, they wanted to act. So it started about 15 years ago. Presently, the group is funded privately by individuals. But what we have been doing differently in the past few years is the group has grown so large, it's not enough, it's not sustainable for us to privately fund it. So we've been looking more at corporate organizations, corporate responsibilities. We have libraries in about 4 public schools in Lagos State. We have been able to train children to obtain scholarships to Day Waterman College and different other colleges. It started out, the way we went about the funding is, it started out with organizing galas. And since CPE already has a mass, especially with people who are overseas, you can organize different events overseas to showcase what CPE is about and what the funding is to be done. And one of the things that must be that is very critical is what everyone has been talking about, and this is accountability. Someone who wants to donate money wants to know what it is being used. So, accounting must be very, very clear about this. It must be critical to it. And with this, over time, corporate bodies will begin to support. Because presently, as of this year, ExxonMobil gave the organization 50 million naira to spend on public schools in Nigeria, not just Lagos State. And General Electric is also supporting, amongst several other organizations. So we should also look at it that this is not the sprint, it's more of a marathon. Let us take it baby steps, with milestones, so that we know that, okay, within this period, we want to achieve this milestone. Once we achieve it, we can go on to the next milestone. And over time, it will get to the point where you will not be the one in control of the motion. It will be now the whole entity called Nigeria driving.
Thank you very much. I really did not want to talk. And the only thing that I want to say is we're good at starting things. We're great at starting things. We're a nation of starters. But we don't do too well. We stay the course and finish it. And I'd just like to repeat a conversation I had with Fola Shade Adebisiyo this morning. When she called, and she called with a deep burden that which she didn't say, but it really tore at my heart. When she said she spent the night awake, troubled, and realized that this event was not just an ordinary event. We may have been doing things in an ordinary way, but please do not take this as just one of the many events that we go to. Names have been taken down. There are plans that are going to be put in place to move things forward. As I stand here, I think the main thing that will make me happy and make all of us truly joyous are certain things. I would love to see education taking on the concurrent list. I would love to see a new national curriculum. I would love to see the 56 billion out of central bank and actually doing stuff in the education space. So what I'm trying to say is, this is not about carrying out superficial activities. Like somebody said, it's a marathon. And we're going to have to dig deep and reconstruct our educational system. We're going to have to dig deep and begin to overturn the dysfunctional system. And it's not, for me, and it's heavy. It's not playtime. It's really, it's not about Lagos. Neither is it about Abuja. It's about the 6 geopolitical zones. And that will mean that we have to speak in a language that everybody can understand, to carry everybody along. So what we are representing here is a new type of nation builder that's emerging, that will speak and act, and unless we see the outcome that we desire, we will not stop. So it's not about, like I said, simple things. Let's run more workshops and more workshops and more workshops. We're tired of workshops. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. So when people were putting out their names, I want to propose the accountability group. And the accountability group is, are we doing what we said we would do? Because the future will hold us accountable. Our children and our grandchildren will hold us accountable. So it's a time of great joy, but it's also there's the weightiness of responsibility. And please don't leave this room without the weightiness of that responsibility. And don't think you've just signed on and it's just another task team that you're working on. There are details that will come out. And I just trust and hope, or we trust and hope, that many that have come on board in another 5 to 10 years we'll still be here. Can we say that we'll give ourselves a 10-year, let's engage for 10 years. You know, 10 years is a completion, we're still alive. Let's just say, you know what, we commit to this journey for the next 10 years. So that by 2025, we won't be able to look back and see the impact that you have.
I'm sure
Let's take that date down.
Yes.
And sands of time.
We said Nigeria public schools.
Yes.
Yes, 2024. She didn't even know.
No. So 10 years. Just 10 years. And let's see what, and maybe we'll gather back in this room and say when we started the journey it was this. Look at where we are today. Thank you very much.